Hi guys, and welcome back to Blue Web Network. Now, it's been a while since you've seen me kind of in the flesh, really, with an update video, or at least one at the start of the year. Obviously, 2024 began with the opening ceremony of Chapter 2, and, this one began with Dream On. It was non-verbal. I didn't say a word, to my knowledge. I didn't say a word in that video. And then right off the back of it, you go into sort of the webcon, which is where I really spoke to you guys, but in a much more professional sense. And that was recorded months in advance. And then followed straight after by the podcast, after the Mr. Reviews whole ending. So really, I've kind of been back and forth really these first 4 months of 2025. And I've been doing a lot of stuff, as you can tell, and preparing for it. This year's a very exciting year ahead, and that's why I decided to do this update video, because yes, I've done the podcast, and yes, I did webcon, and I've did a couple of different things, and I've made some promises again, like I have done the last 4 years. But I've said that some things are coming, and I'm going to obviously live by that. These things are happening, and the plan was kind of, at least for a good few months now, the plan is for the release slate, as I've been calling it, to begin in May and take us all the way through to December. The only month, as far as I'm aware, that will not have an original release date. Projects, there will be videos coming out in July, but in July 2025, I think that is the only month where there is not a flat original release there for July of 2025, the only month where that process is absent. Other than that though, there is a hell of a lot coming, which I'm going to talk about today. 10 projects, which all were announced in webcon, that I've been working very, very hard on for a number of months now. It's now April 2025, we started shooting in October 2024 on 2025. It was the 14th, I believe it was, when we began production. On Mickey's movie night, it was for the voice acting. That was the first time that we rolled cameras on the behind the scenes of that. And since that day, which it was a pretty dire day of shooting actually for a day one, because then we're meant to do a lot more than just the voice acting on that day. But yeah, that was where it started, and we are still continuing now. And the plan is to, at least for a few more months, to be continuing to carry on production on 2025 projects. Today though, I'm going to shed a bit of light on kind of the general context of where the network's at right now, as well as to give a reminder of what projects were announced at webcon and where they kind of stand now in development. So, leading on from what's happened at webcon, I'm going to go through the entire slate and stay where things are. So first of all, BWN Kids is a matter of days away from opening now, and its first project, and the first project at BWN 2025, will be Mickey's Movie Night. As I've said, that the production was one of the earlier ones, and that will be released on the 16th of May 2025 on BWN Kids. For the second project of 2025, and arguably my personal favourite, we have Game Central Season 1. The first season of the brand new rebooted concept for BWN TV with a running reality series. Its first season will debut on the 30th of May for 10 consecutive weeks. Yeah, this is very exciting, really. This is very, very exciting. It's been a long, long time coming, and the wait is finally over. I can't stand it, actually, how excited I am to bring this show to life again. It's new quartet of stars, including myself, as I was part of the former team, but it's new quartet, fired and ready to go. We really like what we've done, and yeah, it's going to be a very exciting launch on the 30th of May, on the main channel, of course. It wouldn't be any other way. Our next release will fall in the middle of Game Central's run, and I'll elaborate on that now. More than a month later, another exclusive channel release, this time on my channel, the Matthew May channel. You guys will see The Lodge, which is now a retitled project that was originally called Law of the Lakes in webcon. And it's changed a good few times. Originally, I was meant to go to Silverstone to do it. I'm not sure if I'll cover that on my channel or not. That's kind of up in debate whether I do that for Sunday vlogs, like a little series. But originally, the special was meant to be at Silverstone, and then and that original graphic was made for webcon. And we did shoot it, but it ended up not being used, and I changed it in the edits to show Law of the Lakes instead. That's now been retitled to The Lodge, which is something I'm currently recording right now. I've just wrapped up filming for the day, and I've come to do this video, and that will release on the 27th of June 2025 on the Matthew May channel. It is a reality special, kind of like a documentary, but not really, where I'm vlogging, sort of a high production vlog where I've come to the Lake District in an isolated valley for 4 days and see what happens really. So that special will exclusively launch on the Matthew May channel on the 27th of June. So moving on from that, of course, I've said there'll be no original releases in July. That's because, well, we don't have one for it, but it's necessary to know that throughout July, Game Central Season 1 will still be running after the Lodge has aired at the midpoint of Game Central season, and it will continue to air on Fridays. So the Game Central in a way is going to almost substitute the weekly system what the podcast had for at least 10 weeks. So it's going to be a very, very exciting watch. But yeah, by the end of that run on the 1st of August, yeah, it'll be a great early summer of the project so far in late spring with Mickey's Movie Night, The Lodge, and Game Central Season 1 throughout all of it. But yeah, moving on from that, on the 8th of August, we have the project that I never thought would happen, and it finally is, Radio Blue. One of the earlier shoots of 2025, pre-recorded radio show. It's kind of been in the can for a while now, but that will be out on the 8th of August. And maybe a little surprise towards the end of the show, which I'm not going to disclose what it is, but it's a big one. But yeah, we're going to meet some new faces for the first time on that show. And yeah, it's overall, I remember being a really great discussion, so I'm looking forward to bringing it out. Moving on from that, we enter September, which I would say is probably the biggest month of this year. It will open with the 5th of September with Our Green Hill Zone, directed by Jacob Varley. That is the project that I believe, yeah, I said on the podcast that he'll be directing it. That is the animated project that we brought him in to do from his channel Comical. He did a great job, especially with the action sequences and set pieces of it. And yeah, that'll be out on the 5th of September with VFX angle brought back in again from LEGO Minecraft and Micro World series. And yeah, it should be a really, really good time. I can also confirm that I will be the person voicing Sonic. I'm just giving it a go. I thought I did a pretty half-decent job. But yeah, well, we'll see how that one shapes out. That will also be on BWN Kids, just to let you know. A lot of our animation work is going to now move over there, but that will be out on the 5th of September. Moving on from that, on the main channel once again, we have Out of Orbit. That is my second album, exactly a year released away from the first one. It will be my 21st birthday. This time around it'll come out. I'm not going to do this every time, I promise. I'm just doing it for these two specifically. But yeah, it will be exactly a year released later from the first album. And I think I really have grown and improved, and I'm looking forward to bringing it out with a space thing this time and some EDM elements here. So yeah, it should be a pretty exciting project, and I hope you look forward to seeing it. And then finally, at the end of September, just less than a week after the album comes out, on Friday the 26th of September, the Matthew May Show will finally return with its first season, a new running format similar to Game Central, of a running series under BWN TV. It will have 5 episodes, a humble 5 episodes for this first season back, where we've went to multiple places, which on Instagram, if you cover us, you'll have seen or probably surmised where those places are going to be. We've shot the 5 episodes with various guest stars, and we hope to upgrade the episode count for a future season. But with this first one, we've kept it small to make sure we make the best show possible, and we think that we have. So that will just about do it for September. Moving on the 24th of October, we have BWN's first documentary in the modern system. I know the last few days was technically a Matthew May project, in retrospect now, canon, and that was officially released in 2023, but that was made a long, well, not really a long while, but a fair bit of time before the network's history truly got kicking. So really this is the first true documentary that isn't just a BTS one like the Jigsaw Pictures ones back in the day. That's been made under our roof, and BWN TV will helm it. I thought it was a great experience filming it with the Scouts. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it seemed that a lot of the Scouts thoroughly enjoyed it being filmed, and they can't wait for it to come out. So we've been covering the Network Scouts in Sunderland, and I thought it was a great community environment to cover, because it's part of a uni module what we did it on. I just thought it was a great experience, really, and I cannot wait for some of the comedic elements to finally hit your small screens at home. Now, moving on, in November, on the 20th of November, we have my second outright music project of the year and last one, Star of the Sea, a new original EP, which will take a lot more of a singer-songwriter and a motive angle than what Out of Orbit does, where I've tried to be a bit more cool, and it's a lot more out there and brash, whereas Star of the Sea is very sort of more somber, and it's a very different vibe for people who prefer that kind of music. Yeah, I think the two projects blend together pretty nicely, only 2 months apart. But yeah, on the 20th of November, expect my last music project of the year, Star of the Sea, to reach BWN screens on the main channel once again. And then finally, also on BWN Kids, like the rest of the animation projects this year, we have Lego Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone set for a Boxing Day release. Animation is done on this currently at the time of recording. I'm very happy with how things have shaped up. And yeah, I'm expecting a lot from this project really. It will be the first of many, as you can probably guess, because we're only covering the first book on this one. And it was a long process to get it made, but now that it's finally in the process of pretty much wrapping up shooting at the time, production anyway, at the time of recording, yeah, I'm feeling very good about this, and it should be a great way to cap off the year. So as you can see, a lot more informally I explained it based on what we had in Webcon there, but I've elaborated once again on the projects that are coming out this year, and this time you have dates. You have all the details of the stuff that's going to be coming out. Again, the annual montage will hit on the 31st of December again. However, I will say that it's looking very likely that the annual montage this year will be the last of its kind, simply because I just think it's like, yeah, I think a format change is needed, because there's going to be some big changes to the network in the next 12 months. And I think an annual montage might not cut it after this year. So I think it will be the 5th one and the last. Also, speaking of 5th, there is going to be the 5th annual soundtrack with any original music for this year's stuff, including the instrumentals for the tracks that are in my music projects. What I will say is it is the last annual soundtrack that I am going to be in charge of, because come September, when Out of Orbit launches, I'm not going to be the direct head of BWN Music anymore. We've got somebody in to try and help with that. And that leads me on to my next point. I've done a lot of work behind the scenes, which I've talked about a bit on the pod, but we now have a lot more people under the network roof than we did before. They're just not publicly going to come to the forefront until New Year's Day. But this is technically the last year where I am the sole face of what it is we're doing. But we do have a team now working very hard behind the scenes to make sure that content for next year is made in the best possible way that it can, and also ensuring that there's a transition process that's carried over, in that this year's projects are handled with incredible care and are put in the best position to be a success. Yeah, I'm very proud of the team that I managed to bring together. They're going to do a great job, all of us, and I'm looking forward to introducing them as time goes on. But for now, this year is the priority, and I believe I've explained pretty much everything that you can expect on the slate this year, outside of course, trailers and BTS features, which of course are going to come out naturally with every single project. Otherwise, that pretty much will do it for the slate this year anyway, on top of a couple of general videos, because that Dream On one was the first of 3. Kind of a trilogy of them, which I want coming out this year, and you'll see the second one very, very soon. But there is one more coming around September time to add to the massive slate that's already in September, and yeah, you can look forward to that. So that will just about do it for my updates on 2025. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you found it insightful. What I can say about the future is 2026 is now in development, as I've said previously, on the various different mediums and channels of this network. But we're working very, very hard to ensure that it's incredible. We're really, the prospects of what we're planning to do next year is kind of insane. So trust that myself and the team are working very, very hard behind the scenes to make it the most special thing possible. The last update I can give you, which is very relevant to today's discussion because I really want to set this thing in motion, is I've been very back and forth about this for about, well, 18 months now, about Chapter 2 in the grander context. I can now officially confirm, at least for now with the information that I have, that BWN Chapter 2 will in fact end in 2026, and in December 2026 no less. That is when I'm intending to end it. It's been a long time coming, this decision, and I've been thinking about what the wider story of this chapter is going to be, and we're starting to bring it into focus now. And we believe a few months after graduation, at least with most of the people on the team leaving next summer from university, we think the end of that era, in a similar way that college was handled, that Christmas next year should be the time that this chapter comes to a close and we consider beginning a new era. That is the last major news drop I wanted to bring up today. So basically, yeah, looking ahead to the rest of 2025, we have a hell of a slate coming your way, and yeah, you guys have no idea what we have planned next year, but it is, if you're keeping track on socials, you'll see the projects that are getting announced exactly a year in advance. We are really doing some special stuff with all of the divisions, and I can't wait to bring next year's content to the forefront. But for now, enjoy 2025. I'll see you when I see you. Until next time, goodbye from me on Blue Web Network.